Can we explain everything by science? What is the role of spirituality in this whole universe? Today we have someone very special, Thomas V. He has done a lot of research into the field of universe, spirituality, science, and everything. And then he has come out with a wonderful book called Spiritual Theory of Everything. I watched this movie called Theory of Everything by featuring Stephen Hawking. But this book is something which is a deep dive into the combination of science and spirituality and how you can find the answers to the deeper questions of your life. So this is a bestseller club interview series in which I interview people who hit bestseller in multiple categories, multiple countries, who have joined my community called Author Freedom Hub. So Thomas, we joined my community a couple of months ago, and then he had a lot of background in terms of research into the spirituality and how the universe work, how the reincarnation, the karmas, and everything. He has done a deeper research of decades. So now today in this interview, we'll be getting into the brain of Thomas V as to how the journey was, and I'll be sharing the screenshot of his picture, his book, so that you can have an idea of what this book is about. So first of all, welcome, Thomas. Welcome to this interview.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me to this program. I'm really
Pleasure,
grateful.
pleasure. So before I start asking you certain questions, let me show the audience what is your book about, and so that they could at least get an idea about this thing. Look at this. This is called Spiritual Theory of Everything, unique blueprint to discover the origin and purpose of life, awaken your consciousness, and lead a blissful life. So now, congratulations, Thomas, for hitting bestseller in multiple countries. I saw it's in US. Which other countries it has hit bestseller?
I saw Canada, Australia.
Wonderful. Great. It's a great achievement, great accomplishment. So first of all, congratulations. And now I'll be just getting into the interview. First of all, I'm curious to know about your back journey, because when a book is out in the world, it's a culmination of a lot of thinking, a lot of emotions, a lot of previous beliefs, and a lot of research. So tell me the backstory of your life and then how this book came out in this whole journey. Over to you, Thomas.
I was born and brought up in a Christian family in a small village in Kerala. And from my childhood, only I started the habit of reading because we had some library system available in our area. And I was taking books regularly and reading and returning. And reading became part of my life from a very young age.
Amazing.
Somewhere in class 1, I started reading.
Oh,
that
great.
time it was Malayalam books. So when I was able to read English, I started reading English books. So initially, the reading was basically of stories and novels and things like that. So I was leading a normal life till my age of 23. So
normal life.
I was living a normal kind of life.
Okay, let's get to that.
Yeah, so I started working at the age of 22, and I moved around the country and also gone outside the country a few times, and that is the later part. But what happened at the age of 23, I had a spiritual experience that changed my life completely.
Amazing.
So I become a new person from that moment because I can clearly distinguish that two sides of my life.
Oh.
Because I was a different person till that moment, and then suddenly I become a new person. And
at the age of 23, you said?
At the age of 23, and I was unmarried.
Amazing.
And I just started my job, and that was my experience.
What triggered that instance which happened to you? Like,
it was like one friend actually invited me to a Christian meeting. So there the preacher was teaching about the universe, God, the spirit of God, Jesus, all of these things. He was preaching in a very, very passionate way. And sometime during the program, during that meeting, I started feeling the presence of God. I was thinking about God. So I got a feeling that there is a presence presence of God.
Ah.
I can sense that. So I started sensing that feeling.
Hmm.
So slowly, by the end of that meeting, I got a different kind of mindset.
Wonderful,
I
wonderful, wonderful.
changed my whole life from that moment. So
Great.
that was the experience, and
Ah.
then it was a gradual progression.
Hmm. So precisely like as you're talking before the recording of this interview, you had spent a lot of time in researching of this book. So tell us something about how long did you take in researching the book, and what kind of was it like a theoretical research, or you were having some personal deep insight experiences which has come into your book? Tell us something about that.
When my spiritual experience happened, my thinking got changed. So I become thinking about spiritual things, God, soul, spirit, mind, all kind of things,
Hmm,
philosophical
hmm,
things.
hmm,
So my outlook has changed.
hmm,
So there, my search was to know who is God. That was my first question. Then, who am I?
hmm,
What is spirit? How
hmm.
it works?
Okay.
That all these kind of questions came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was searching here and there. It started with Bible and other Christian literature initially.
Right. Right.
So there I searched my best to find all these answers. And after 5 6 years of search, I could not get a satisfactory answer because it was not answering all my questions. There are some gaps, something missing.
Hmm.
So then I started looking outside Christianity for my answers.
Okay.
So that took me into Hindu philosophy, philosophical books
Mm-hmm.
like Gita. I was
Okay.
reading Gita.
Hmm.
I was going through this Patanjali Yoga Sutra
Oh.
and so many books of Hindu saints,
Oh.
which just totally made me aware
Hmm.
that there is more truth available in the world than I have
Amazing.
ever
Um,
imagined. And
I
there
can say
were,
that the spiritual theory of everything, the name you have put of this book is precisely you're a Christian, and you, after looking at the Christian books, have gone to Hinduism, Buddhism, and every kind of other spiritual theories, and then come out with this book, right? After a
then,
deep
yeah,
understanding.
finally, when I, after going through all these things, I understood the meaning of religion, the meaning of spirituality, meaning of life. These things
Wonderful.
actually I started realizing.
Hmm.
So this research has actually helped me to understand what is God and what is the creation, how God become a creation. So that is the story
Right.
I explain in this book,
Amazing.
because it is
Amazing.
like I was trying to explain the unexplainable. So that is
Absolutely.
why it took a lot of time. It was very difficult to put them into words,
Yes.
to explain God and to
Yes.
explain your soul, the components, the
Hmm.
structure of the soul,
Hmm.
how it worked
Correct.
within, how it worked with the outside world, and these kind of things.
Correct.
So you are trying to analyze them from a scientific point of view,
Understood. Agree.
as if these things are physical, but they are not physical things. So
Yes.
it is a mixture of scientific analysis plus spiritual analysis. You have to bring these things together.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay. Hmm.
yeah, I was going through the latest developments in science also.
Hmm.
See, after going through all these spiritual stuff, the religious, all the scriptures, it included some courses I attended from USA,
Hmm.
which was teaching about oneness theory and things like that. There is
Hmm.
something science of
Okay.
mind. I was
Hmm.
a student of science of mind.
Right.
If you search the net, you will find that it is a US
Yeah.
based
Yeah. Yes. The
organization. So
science of
I
mind.
science of mind. I was
Hmm.
part of that in 2010 onwards for two to
Okay.
three years.
Okay.
I took some courses that
Right.
actually helped me to learn uh, beyond our own scripture, the Indian kind of things. So it was going into um, other mythologies and other theories from other countries like Egyptian mythology,
Okay.
and so it was coming from a very far history of humanity, the history of the human development, and then how the philosophers uh, came up with those
Got
theories,
you.
the Greek philosophies.
Got
So
you.
it was going through so many things, and it actually grounded me into this new reality of life.
Got
Then
it.
I
Got it.
understood every religion has some truth, but not a single religion which we can say is complete. And the
Hmm.
practices on the ground is totally different from the original purpose of the religion or the masters who have taught it. Because in
Wonderful.
Christianity or Hinduism, wherever you see, there are so many good things are taught, and it has so many good things. But when at the ground level, people see things in a different way.
Right.
It is
Right.
like how you perceive things.
Wonderful.
People see them as a material thing, a physical thing, and they treat it accordingly, and they get the result accordingly. And
Right.
when we understand,
So
yeah,
got you. So now precisely, the name of book is Spiritual Theory of Everything. So the way that you have done this deep research into Indian philosophies of religions and global philosophies, and that makes you uh, believe that's make a bold claim of saying this is spiritual theory of everything, right?
yeah,
Yes.
it is not just spiritual. It is a spiritual scientific
Yes.
theory. I will say like that, because
Absolutely.
spirituality I covered as far as I was um, able to get my hands,
Hmm.
even from the established areas, plus from the channeled materials. There are
Right.
channeled materials available, which is supposed to be taken from what you call, you can say, angels or
Okay.
those
Okay.
beings which are beyond us.
Okay.
Those who have already traveled our journey and reached the next level of
Got it. So how long you took this
evolution.
all research? How long? How many years you
Um,
spent?
See, my spiritual experience started in '94,
Ah.
and I started writing down in 2010.
Oh, right. So it's a basically 10 years of exploration, research,
Exploration,
experiencing, and then writing. Right, right, right.
then writing.
So then, you started writing, and when did you like think of publishing yourself? So tell us about that.
I was able to get my first draft by 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought, okay, I have done it. Let me publish it. So
Hmm.
I tried to publish, and then after a week, I realized that I should not go public now,
Hmm.
because some of the theories need more refinement.
Okay.
Because basically, I was struggling with the concept of fundamental particle.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That was, I was not very confident. I was not very clear whether that is going to be 100% true.
Right.
So then I thought, let me get into this little more,
Hmm.
and I was searching in the scientific area on the research of fundamental particle, like
Right.
God
Right. Right.
particle and things like that.
Right.
So in the scientific area, I found Einstein's theories, Newton's theories, and the quantum physics,
Oh.
all these things, and especially the astronomy. And
Hmm.
recently, that is what happened. I was started seeing so many information about the universe and things from the scientific side.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I was looking at that area and seeing, okay, so the Earth is 4.5 billion years old,
Hmm.
and the solar system is 5 billion, and then the universe is this much, and
Hmm.
there are other habitable planets and things like that. Then
Okay.
suddenly it started making sense that whatever
Hmm.
I was discussing in the book is already being discussed by scientists.
Hmm.
So they are trying to prove these things are already there.
Hmm.
And I started watching the scientific developments,
Hmm.
and found that they were able to define life and the laws to a certain extent. At
Hmm.
least from a physical perspective, they were able to do that. They
Right.
have done a good job,
Hmm.
because they understand gravity, they know how to travel to space, and they know uh, basically the age of the planet, age of the universe, and the number of solar system probability of numbers in the galaxy, and the
Right.
number of galaxies in the universe, and those kind of things. So new informations were coming, and
Right.
from the Hubble telescope and things like that. I was following all these developments,
Lot of
and
stuff. Lot of
especially
stuff.
that God particle. which made and Big Bang Theory. So this was
Oh,
basically I was into spirituality and
so
then
seven
into
years you took
science.
more. 7 years you took more in terms of
I
completing the research, and then
from
2020 you were able to kind of publish this book, right?
yeah. Then finally, when I figured out this fundamental particle,
Mm-hmm.
then I thought, let me start editing the book. I started editing it in 2019. On one fine day, suddenly I got the feeling that this is the fundamental particle. Okay,
Yes.
so
Mm.
the fundamental particle I say uh, as photon.
Mm.
Photon. Scientific community doesn't consider photon as a particle. They
Mm.
say it is a wave particle duality and it doesn't exist. That
Mm.
kind of meaning because whatever they cannot measure is not existing. But we
Mm.
know it is existing. We can see it. It is everywhere.
Right.
And finally, I figured out photon is a fundamental particle.
Mm.
So then I understood how a soul become a see. You cannot have a fundamental particle somewhere, and then you cannot say that soul is separate from that.
Right.
So I figured out the soul, how the soul becomes the fundamental particle.
Right.
That means the soul's first level of existence is photon. So that
Mm.
is how I defined all these things, and then uh, we our stage as a human being, how we reach that level, and then how we are progressing and where we are going. So this is the journey I
Right.
tried to capture in this book, from
Right.
that of the original creation, the fundamental particle,
Mm-hmm.
up to human being,
Mm-hmm.
and then up to the next level, and the final level, and then back into the black hole,
Mm.
and then coming back again as a photon. So
Reincarnation.
this cycle, this is the eternal cycle of life. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
what I tried to capture in this book.
Wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
so I thought of naming it as a spiritual theory of everything
Yes.
because
So
it has everything about spirituality and also many things for the scientific community also. They can do research on
absolutely.
that.
So everything. I mean, you have done a lot of research, a lot of stuff, and that's why it makes sense to name it like covering everything. And because you have the way you're explaining, like it is too much content in the book. So
It
who
is
should
too
be
much.
the
It is
ideal?
a summary. It is a summary. I cannot explain everything in detail.
Hmm.
So it is a summarized version of all these things in one book. So
Right.
you cannot
Who?
actually find a niche or a particular subject.
Hmm.
So it's very difficult to name the book. So finally, I
Yes, yes,
chose this
yes.
book.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense. So, who is the ideal reader? Like, is it for people who are only seeking the spirituality, or is it people who are looking for some other answers from the universe perspective, physical, material world perspective? Who is the audience? Like, some specific set of people, like
I will
scholars, people should read this, or it's for everybody?
see. It may be a difficult read in that way to understand everything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the language is very simple. I am a simple person. I write very simple language,
Hmm.
so it is easily readable.
Hmm.
But any logical thinking person
Hmm.
should read it.
Wonderful.
If somebody is thinking that in terms of my religion, I
Hmm.
only believe in that, I don't care about other things.
Hmm.
Maybe that person may not like it, but any logical person who want to actually know the truth and
Any
who want
seeker,
to know, yeah,
any
any
seeker,
seeker,
any
any seeker,
seeker, explorer of life who wants to
explorer,
know the things, who have open mind, they
open
should
mind,
go and read this book because
they should
it
go and
requires
read
openness of mind to
it.
get out of their own, because you are a Christian and you got out of your religion, and then many people
Right,
believe in one religion and they don't go away and they just live there and die there, but you have gone
right,
everywhere and research everything, and that requires openness of mind in researching and then writing the book. So now
right.
let's switch the gear. I'll come back to more of your book, but let's switch the gear. Like publishing, you joined my community. When did you join the community?
In September only.
September only. So
September
like
only.
before that you were like you had some experience of publishing, but after joining the community in terms of publishing, marketing, tell us something to the readers, to the listeners who want to publish their books and who are like thinking that how should they do it. Tell your experience as to how it was beneficial for you.
I joined your community because I want to know the best practices in writing, publishing, and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had done it earlier myself and I struggled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no point in again struggling and wasting money, time, effort.
Mm-hmm.
So time is valuable. We don't need to waste money. When there is a way to do that, why should not I join?
Right.
So that was the reason I joined this community. And I sincerely believe this is the best investment I have ever made in my life.
Right.
So I had done so many investments, maybe here, there, throughout my life.
Hmm.
Many things did not get me returned,
Hmm.
but this one I can 100% guarantee.
Hmm.
I got maybe a lifetime value,
Wonderful.
because
Wonderful.
I already got so much value, but the value has not ended here. It is a
Hmm.
lifetime value.
Yes.
So that way, I totally become independent.
Hmm.
I can do everything related to writing and publishing and marketing
Hmm.
because of the support, because of the blueprint
Hmm.
available in this course. And,
Wonderful.
and the community is also supporting. Your one-to-one support is there, put together. And then again, whenever there is a new development, you update that into the course, or you bring it to the table. So
Right.
that way, I find I don't need to look outside for any knowledge or support. I can get everything here. So I'm totally contented. I'm happy. I become part of this journey, this
Hmm.
community,
Hmm.
and that is the sole reason I hit bestseller. Otherwise, I don't think I will be able to figure out the
Yes.
techniques and knowledge how to do it. So
Yes.
now I know how I can do, how long I can keep this book as a bestseller.
Hmm.
All these things and manageable. Now it is manageable in my control. I
Right.
don't have to check with somebody how to do it. Can you help me? Nothing. I can do
Yes.
it myself.
So you have become an entrepreneur who
I
can do writing, publishing, marketing on its own, right?
everything.
Wonderful. So now, I mean, you could have gone to some publisher, you could have published this one book. What's this? You have joined this course where you have learned a skill. So by the skill, you can definitely not create only one book. You can create 1, 2, 5, 10, as many books as you can because you have learned the skill.
Yes.
Now, you did not have any marketing you have a marketing background or no? I mean, you
I
have.
have some marketing background,
Hmm.
uh, but I never personally used. See, the biggest benefit I got, one of the biggest benefits
Hmm.
from your course is to work independently,
Hmm.
become an independent person. Okay.
Hmm.
Earlier, what happened, even for small things, whenever, mostly on the technical side,
Hmm.
I either outsource or depend on somebody,
Hmm.
to somebody for doing it.
Hmm.
So there was a time I needed some advertisement on Facebook.
Hmm.
Somebody did it for me. I never did it
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
So I never had any first-hand experience of digital marketing,
Hmm.
though I know theoretically things. So
Yes.
here I become a practical person. I was
Hmm.
able to do it myself, and now I am feeling that freedom of
Hmm.
doing things independently and getting things under control.
So you published on your own, you marketed everything at every channel on your own, and you hit the bestseller on your own without any support, right?
Without any support other than the support I got from the course
Community, of course, of course,
community.
of course, of
Right.
course. Great, great, great. It's really a wonderful feeling to have your book into US, Canada, and Australia, everywhere hitting bestseller. So now let's talk about something. If somebody is thinking of publishing is hard or marketing is hard, how to precisely get it done? What is your recommendation to them?
uh, if you try to do it alone, then things will be hard, because I was it took a lot of time for me,
Hmm.
and I was thinking it is a really difficult job.
Hmm.
How can I write another book, because book writing takes a lot of time.
Hmm.
But with the community, with this course,
Hmm.
now I am confident. If I want to write a book, I can finish it in next 3 4 months.
Hmm.
So that I got that confidence now. So like
Wonderful.
that, anybody who actually want to write or struggling with writing,
Hmm.
if they get somebody to mentor, some
Hmm.
mentors to help
Hmm.
them,
Hmm.
that makes their journey easy. Because if you try to learn it yourself and make mistakes and then learn, it is very slow and very tedious.
Right.
So if you have a mentor, the benefit is that they have already gone through this journey several times.
Hmm.
They have seen the pitfalls.
Hmm.
They will guide you the easiest path,
Hmm.
the smoothest path.
Hmm.
So if you just follow that path, your struggle will be less,
Right.
your pain will be less, your financial spending will be less. All together, you will save a lot of things in terms of time, money, and efforts.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, listeners, watchers, precisely look at this the kind of research Thomas has done in researching this book, like many years of researching. Then he penned the book once and then again started researching into science of mind and everything. So, this book, is Spiritual Theory of Everything, is a culmination of practical experience, research of global theories about spirituality, science, and everything. And that's why its name is Spiritual Theory of Everything. It's a if you are a seeker, if you want to have if you have a curiosity of knowing the bigger truths of life, universe, karmas, reincarnation, and everything, this is the book you must put your hands on, because you will definitely get a lot of value out of this book. And if you are someone who wants to write, publish, and market your book on your own without going to any publisher, without hiring any agencies, with 100% control, then I invite you to join my community called Author Freedom Hub. And below this video, I have a link of the training where you can watch the training and take a decision to join in the community. And also the link of the book Spiritual Theory of Everything by Thomas V. And definitely you should try this book on. So now we will be ending this interview. But before I leave, Thomas, tell us a parting piece of advice from your book, and of course links will be there in the below. But tell us or tell the audience a parting piece of advice from your book, from the Spiritual Theory of Everything.
This book is a blueprint about life. This shows you a blueprint of life,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are able to understand this, then you will be master of your life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And like that, if you want to become an author,
Mm.
this author freedom course has a blueprint of writing,
Mm.
publishing, and marketing.
Right.
So anybody who join this course will become can become a master in writing,
Mm.
and they can become a authorpreneur. There's no doubt about it. Only
Great.
if there is a will, there is a way. So if you
Amazing.
are ready, then definitely both these things are possible. If you want to become spiritually free and live a life of freedom, then you can read this book and become free. And as an author, if you want to become a authorpreneur with complete freedom, then if you choose this course, then definitely that will change your life.
Absolutely. So wonderful parting piece of advice. So buy this book, Spiritual Theory of Everything, and also look at the link for watching my free training at the link below. And I'll be happy to help you out. So thank you so much, Thomas. It was great having you on this show, and we'll meet soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Bye bye.